Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Diki Ramdhani, and today I would like to deliver my presentations entitled Methods of Teaching Campus Focused. It is taken from the books of Bates 2019, Teaching in a Digital Age. There will be some topics that I would like to convey in my presentations. Here are the topics that I would like to tell you. Start from the 5 perspective on teaching until the conclusions. Let me start from the first, that is about the perspective on teaching. According to Pratt 1998, based on the study that was conducted by him in 5 different countries with 253 teachers, his study found 5 perspectives on legitimate view of teaching. The first one is transmission. The second one is apprenticeship. The third one is developmental, nurturing, and the last one is social reform. Let's discuss one by one. What is transmission? So transmission here is is using the objectivist approach in which the teacher is teaching the students in order to achieve the learning aims and also the learning objectives. That is the transmissions. Now we go to the apprenticeships. Apprenticeships here is learning by doing, that is conducted by the students and then supervised by the senior or by the teacher. And then developmental here using constructivism of learning theories. Constructivist, this one is involve the students' creative thinking and also like problem-based learning, or PBL is one of the examples of the constructivism that is used in the developmental. The fourth one is nurturing. It is used to facilitate the self-efficacy. The last one is social reform, that is used to seek a better society. Let me go on to the next topic. This is about the origins of the classroom designs. According to Fukuyama, the origin structure of institutions fail to adapt and adjust to changes in the external environment. As we know that the external environment and also the technology grows so fast. So if the methods, if we just follow the existing methods that has already been designed long time ago, and we just use the same method all the time without considering the changing of the external environment, especially digital age, of course, the students will be left behind. That's why traditional campus-based model of teaching needs to be examined to fit for a digital age and to adjust the external environment. We are, as teachers or as the lecturers, we want our students in order to update with the newest technology or with the newest informations outside there. The next one, this is about the transmissive lectures or learning by listening. As we can see here in the picture, the students are listening to the teacher. This is what we call by lecture. What is lecture according to Bates? Lecture is one kind of traditional classroom teaching. And in addition, Bly also said that lecture is situation in which a speaker is giving expositions to the audiences to learn. So the students are learning by listening to the teacher explaining about the lesson in front of the classroom. And there are 3 things to succeed the lectures. The first one is context. The second one is accuracy, and the third one is authority. Authority here means the power in controlling access to knowledge. These 3 things that must be possessed by the teacher. And are lectures effective in digital age? The answer is there are 2 perspectives. The first one, the lecture, yes, it is effective. This is as effective as other methods for transmitting information, for example, like the videos and also the online articles, maybe, yes. And then the lectures are not effective for several things. For example, like for promoting thought. Promoting thought here means the students are not trained, yes, to have to provoke their creative thinking skills. And then for inspiring interest in a subject and for teaching behavioral skills. Because the traditional lecture usually only asks the students to listen to the teacher. And the teacher here only focus on the teacher. So only teacher-centered, not the learner-centered. That is learning by listening. Still about learning by listening. In a digital age, technologies, yes, will give benefits if they are used properly, appropriately. Okay, in online learning, for example, the teacher can use online podcast or video for the online learning. And what about the offline learning? Can we still use the technology? The answer is yes. Yes. So the teacher can ask the students to use the gadgets for finding sources, for example, like that. And the lecture are still best used for what? For providing up-to-date materials, for summarizing materials, adapting materials, helping students, and also modeling expert thinking. This is what the the other learning style doesn't have. Yes, if we use the lecture, we can help the students easily because teachers are the one who knows their students very well. Yes. Okay, so the most important thing, yes, in the lecture itself, not the transmission of the content. If it is only transmission of the content, the internet can also can give the content, yes, to the student. But the most important thing in terms of lecture, it is an expert way of thinking about a topic. So we train our students to be expert way of thinking or to provoke their critical thinking. Let me go on to the next one. This is what interactive lectures, seminars, and also tutorials. Martin and Saljo, in their study, yes, they found in their study that the students usually the student university, study by implementing two approaches. The first one is deep approach. The second one is surface approach. Let's discuss about deep approach and surface approach. Deep approach, this is the situations when the students already have the prior intrinsic interest in the subject. Yes, so the students who implement the deep approach, they tend to know more. Yes, so they have good motivation in learning. Meanwhile, the students who implement the surface approach, they only focus on the score. They are score oriented because they just want to get a pass grade or qualifications. That's why their motivations is not as high as the deep approach. And now we go to the definitions of seminar and tutorials. Seminar is a group meeting consisting of students and teacher who participate actively together and controlled by the teacher, including topics and tasks. And tutorial is between one teacher and 1 until 4 students or in a small group. Yeah, that is the difference between seminar and tutorial. Yes, both of them are discussions, but the difference is a seminar can be conducted in a very large group. However, in tutorial, only a small group of students. Both of these, whether it is seminar or tutorial, use or adopt the constructivist learning theories that where the constructivists believe that knowledge is acquired through social processes. Let me go on to the next one. This is about learning by doing or apprenticeships. Yes, apprenticeships, learning by doing. According to Bates, apprenticeship is a way to enable students to learn by doing. Yes, there are two forms of learning according to Pratt and Johnson. They are traditional and cognitive. The purpose of the traditional learning, it is to develop motor and manual skill of the students. And for cognitive, it is to develop the knowledge of the students. And there are some advantages of apprenticeships, models of teaching. The first one is authentic. Why this one is called by authentic? Because the materials that, or the theory that the students learn is very up to date. So they can adapt with the real world condition. The second one, the second advantage is because it is efficient. Efficient means the teacher who also become the supervisor can teach their students while doing a work routine. The third one, inspiring for learners. Yes, because by doing this, the learners can have a goal or a clear model. The last one, by doing apprenticeship, the students can get some information. So that's why it is called by informative. Yes, because the students can know the values and norms of the professions. Let me go on to the next one, still about learning by doing, but this is experiential learning. What is experiential learning? So it is almost the same as the previous one in apprenticeship. So experiential learning is learning by doing as well as applying the theory or the theoretical knowledge achieved inside and outside the classroom. Yes, the experiential design models include some cases, something like laboratory, workshop, studio work, PBL. This is PBL, the very famous methods. Yes, case-based learning, project-based learning, and also inquiry-based learning. Now, there are also some benefits of having the experiential learning. The students who experience or do the experiential learning, they tend to have better long-term memory. They will have deeper understanding and will be more critical. And the last one, their skill communications will get increased. Okay, let me go on to the next one. This is about the second last point, the nurturing and the social reform models. Okay, the nurturing perspective is the role of a parent. So it's like a parent that teaching their children. Yes. The second one is the social reform perspective. The social reform perspective is creating a better society. Yes. Since the nurturing and also social form are learner-centered, so they focus on the interest of the learner, of course. Yes, I think it is not difficult for teacher to know the students' interests. Yes, they have because they meet their students every day. What's that? Almost every day. And then empathizing with how learner approaches learning, listening carefully to what learner is saying and thinking. And the last one is providing appropriate supportive responses in the form of consensual validation of experience. Both perspectives, whether that is nurturing or social reform perspective, are very important because they reflect many assumptions or beliefs around connectivisms. Still, about the learning by feeling or the nurturing and social reform models, they are both learner-centered. So the teacher only focuses on the students, because the teacher wants to try to give what the students needs and what the students wants. However, they have both benefits and also drawbacks. Yes, the benefits of implementing the nurturing and social reform models of teaching. The first benefit is it works well for adults, for nurturing and social form. Yes, and for nurturing only, it works well only for younger, not for adult, because nurturing itself is using the perspective of a parent. Yeah? And then it is adopted by Google as in adult education, that is about nurturing. Social reform is used to develop self-efficacy, so it is also good for the improving the self-efficacy of the students, and effective for well-educated learners. And this kind of learning model or the model of teaching, it also has the drawbacks. The first one is need to adopt a highly dedicated and unselfish approach, because the teacher has to focus on the students, not to focus by himself only. Yes, or the learning objectives only, but they have to give what the students want and also need. And the teacher need to spend lots of time to identify the learner's need. The last one is the teacher, it can cause a conflict. The conflict here means in terms of students' learning needs and the demands of the society in the digital age. Because what the students need, sometimes it doesn't in line with the, with the development of the digital age itself. And the last, we go to the conclusions. There are three conclusions that I want to conclude here. Pragmatism trumps ideology in teaching. Yes, almost no methods appropriate to use in the classroom, because different students with different characteristics maybe will have different kind of methods. However, the existing methods maybe is not designed for the certain condition of the students. For example, when we are using the problem-based learning, and then when the students are very silent or they don't have good enough in language knowledge, yes, their language knowledge is not really good, then problem-based learning is considered not appropriate for this kind of students. That's why the teacher has to adopt another method or combine one method with another method, yes, to meet what the students need. Then the teaching methods are not determined by the technology. It means that the better understanding of teaching methods and learning theories a teacher has, the better using of technology the teacher employs in teaching. That's why as a teacher, we must improve our knowledge, we must improve our theories Yes, if we have lots of theories, especially about the methods in teaching, so we can use and combine one method with another method. The last one, in a digital age, eclecticism can be a solution. So what is eclecticism? Eclecticism is combining between one method with another method. I think that's all about my presentations. Thank you very much for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.